Today I'm coming to you from Bonaire. It's this beautiful Caribbean island. Check this out. When you're traveling, if your phone gets stolen, even if you are using Face ID and passcodes, in less than 30 minutes, a thief can gain access to your bank accounts and begin stealing your money. I'm going to show you how he does that, and I'm going to show you how to prevent it. This is absolutely a must-see video for anyone who travels. Here's how the thief does it. When a thief steals your phone while you are just standing on the street corner with Uber open, I'm going to show you what he will do. First, he will just swipe away from Uber. He needs to find what bank you use, and he needs to find your email application. Now, he doesn't have to go searching through all of your apps. No, it's much easier than that. He will go to the very end of all your apps to what's called your app library. And you notice right here it says productivity and finance. He'll tap that. Oh, it looks like you use Bank of America. You also use Citibank. Oh, and look over here. You use Gmail. That's really simple. So what he's going to do is tap on Citibank. And even if you had it set to log yourself in with your Face ID, he obviously doesn't have your face. It will not log him into your bank, but it will open the app. And if you've made the mistake of having your username automatically defaulted to save you keystrokes, now all he has to do down here at the bottom is click on Forgot Password. And what is your bank going to do? They're going to send you an email with a verification code or a link that will allow him to change your password. And at that moment, he has your user ID, your password, and he knows that you use Citibank. And he will start transferring your money to him. He will start buying Bitcoin, and you're going to lose thousands of dollars. It doesn't take that long for a thief to break into your bank account when he steals your phone when it is open. It's very important to point out that even if you do not have your banking apps default in your user ID, it doesn't stop the thief. It just slowed him down by one step because he can click here on Forgot My User ID to get that information. So coming up next, I'm going to show you how to prevent a thief from doing this. First, we're going to talk about how to require the Face ID when you open a banking app, as well as hide it in a special hidden folder. Lastly, just some general settings. Okay, let's get started. We're going to jump right in and show you how to prevent a thief from doing what you've just learned. What you can do is tap on any icon and press and hold, and a little menu will pop up. And you'll notice towards the top it says Require Face ID. That's going to prevent a thief from being able to get into your banking app until it sees your face and requires your Face ID. And we want to do this on every banking app. We don't want them to be able to even get into the app. So tap on Require Face ID. And for right now, just tap on Require Face ID. What you'll notice is now if you tap on Citibank, it will require your Face ID just to get into the banking app. And that's exactly what we want it to do. Now, you may be curious, what if you made a mistake? How do you take that off? You can tap and press and release, and you'll see up the top it says, Don't require Face ID. And so by selecting that, this particular app will no longer require your Face ID. So now you know how to turn that off and turn it on. Well, looking at my phone, I can see a thief is going to love this. I've got 3 banking apps right at the bottom of my homepage. We need to require the Face ID on all 3 of those and hide them in a secret folder. So this is how you do it. We'll start with Citibank again. Tap and release, require Face ID. Now, look at the screen right in the middle at the bottom. It says hide and require Face ID. This is what you want to do. So when you select that, it will display some information to you on what this is going to do, and you can select OK. Now it's gone. It's been moved into a hidden folder. And even if you use that search button down at the bottom and search for city, it won't find that app. It's truly been kind of removed off your phone. Nobody can see that you have this unless you go into the secret special hidden folder. So we're going to do that on all three of these apps. So press and hold, require Face ID, hide and require Face ID. Here's the information. Click on Hide App. One more time, Capital One Bank, require Face ID, hide and require Face ID. It shows you the information, select Hide App, and boom, all of your banking apps are gone. And like I said, even if you search for that bank during that search field down there, you're not going to find it. So the question is, how do I get into my banking apps? Well, here's what you have to do. Just scroll all the way across all of your apps until you get to your app library. Now remember, this app library right here where it says finance, this is where previously those banking apps would have been displayed there, but they are no longer displayed there because if you scroll down there, you'll see at the very bottom a folder named hidden. Those banking apps that we just required the Face ID and hid them, this is where they're located. So tap on that, and it requires your Face ID to see what's inside. And now we can see these banking apps that were in there. And you can tap on any one of these, and now it requires your Face ID a second time to actually open up that bank. And now you can log in to that banking app. Now, one question you might be having in your mind is, this is all fantastic, but what if for some reason in the future I don't like that they're hidden and I want to remove them? It's very simple. If you tap on this again, it looks at your face. You can press and hold on any one of those and select Don't Require Face ID. Okay, so now it's been moved out of the hidden folder. What you have to do to put it back on your home page somewhere is down here where it says search. If you tap on that and search for that bank, here's Credit One. You can tap and let go. It shows you this menu, and you'll need to select Add to Home Screen. That will put it back on your home screen, and then you can move this to wherever you want. Okay, so now you know how to hide your banking apps, how to require the Face ID, how to take all that away if you want to, and a thief is not going to know what banks you use and cannot get into those banking apps. Do that, please, on all of your banking apps and your finance apps. Okay, there's something else I want to show you that is very important, and that is I want to talk about this wallet app and the passwords app. These are fantastic apps to use because the wallet app allows you to put in a credit card, and then you can tap your phone when you're at a store to buy things. That's great functionality, but you want to make sure that a thief cannot do those things. All you have to do, again, press and hold on the wallet app and select Require Face ID. And now, whenever you're at a store and you're wanting to purchase something and tap your phone on the little machine to pay for it, you'll have to look at your phone before you can do that, and then you're good. The next thing is right next to it, the Passwords app. We want you to require your Face ID on this as well, because this is where you're storing your passwords for all of these different apps that you have. So if you tap on that, there's several things in here, and one that's very important that I want you to focus on is up here where it says All. I do want you to tap on that, scroll down through this list. If you see any of your banks listed in that list, please swipe it to the left and delete it. You do not want your phone remembering your banking app's passwords, because we want to keep a thief completely away from all of that information. So this is an important part of the Passwords app. And one more time, if you tap and hold on Passwords, you'll get this pop-up screen. Select Require Face ID, so that just to go in to the Passwords app, it will need your Face ID to get you into that. All right, so that's perfect. The next thing I want to show you is there's some very important settings in the Settings app that you really should be aware of and make some changes to. So let's focus on those changes now. Tap on the Settings app, and the first thing I want you to do is scroll down to where it says General. Under General, we want to talk about what version of the iOS software that you have. You'll want to tap on the About here, and it will show you what version of the Apple software that you're on. Now, if you are on a version less than 16, some of the features I'm showing you in my series of videos here are not going to be available to you. So make sure if under the About it says less than 16, you need to come here and go into Software Update and download the newest version of the iOS software so that you can have access to all the functionality I'm showing you. Okay, after you've done that, click on the blue back in the upper left-hand corner. And then I want to show you under Display and Brightness, a very important feature. So tap on that, and I want you to scroll down. And as you scroll down, you'll notice there is an option called Auto Lock. I currently have that set to 1 minute. Let's explain what this does. So if you tap on that, I have it set to 1 minute. Now, when a thief steals your phone and it's open in your hand, maybe you were taking a photo, maybe you were using Uber or any of the other apps that you might use out on the street. When your phone is open in his hand, one of the first things he's got to do is come into here and change this to never. And what this means is that the phone, if it's just left alone sitting on a table, it's never going to auto lock itself. And this is what the thief wants. And this is one of the first things he'll change. If you have not set this to something like 1 minute, please pause the video right now and make that change, because at 1 minute, that tells their phone that if it's sitting there, maybe it's in his pocket, he's running, he has 1 minute to get into this screen and change it to never before your phone locks itself automatically. So make sure that is set, and that will help protect you from the very beginning. All right, so click on the blue back. Click on the blue arrow at the upper left-hand corner one more time. And then we want to scroll down and talk about some other very important things here under Face ID and Passcode. Now, I just showed you how you can require your Face ID on all of your banking and financial apps, but there's some important things that you should know. So tap here on Face ID and Passcode. This will require you to enter in your passcode to get into your phone. So once you get into the Face ID and Passcode section, there's some very important things. If you scroll down, there's one that's called Face ID with a mask. Now, I have this turned off. You may have this turned on because during COVID times, we all were frustrated having to pull our mask down to log into our phones. And so we turned this on, which allowed us to get into our phone without having to take our mask off. But now COVID's over. Please turn this on. Please turn that off like you see here, because we want the facial recognition to be as accurate as possible. Okay, so with that turned off, I want you to scroll down, and there's another important one. Require attention for Face ID. Now, you may have this turned off, but I'm going to suggest that you really turn that on. What this does is that when it is validating your face, it's going to do an extra deep validation to make sure that there's attention, there's movement, to detect that you are actually looking at your phone. So turn that on. Okay, another thing that you should turn on, down here it says stolen device protection. If you tap on that, you can read down through all of this options. So I have this set that when I am away from familiar locations, that these extra security will be added to my iPhone. So if you have that turned off, make sure you turn that on. And this is what it's doing. It turned that on. And now anytime a thief is trying to make any changes, your phone will just delay you by 1 hour to actually make those changes. As we exit out of the settings app, one more thing that is very, very important in regards to your banking apps. I slightly mentioned it previously, but I'm going to really focus on this now. If you tap here on your hidden folders to see your banking apps, look at your phone. Here's the banking apps that we selected previously. This private bank from Bank of America. I'm going to open this up. It's requiring my face in order to get in. And this is very common across most banking apps that are out there. You'll notice right here it says Save User ID. And what that does is if your user ID is I am smart. If you select Save User ID when you log into this banking app, it's going to remember your user ID and default that anytime this banking app is opened. We don't want you to do that. Definitely deselect that so that your banking app will force you to type it in. Like I told you previously, the thief, he can still get to your user ID, but this is going to make him add one extra step. So don't ever select that. Just remember your user IDs and remember your passwords to get into your banks, and that will make things much easier. All right, this was a really good day today. We talked about many, many things. Coming up next, this series has 5 videos to it. You're going to love all of these videos, step-by-step instructions on how to really secure your phone. At this point, your phone is better than it was yesterday, but I'm telling you, there are so many more things that you need to do on your phone to really lock it down from a thief. One of those is the next video is going to show you how to require the Face ID on the Settings app. You'll notice something. If you tap and hold Settings, there is no option to require Face ID. That means that if your phone is open, when a thief steals it, he can go into that Settings app and change all of these things, and we don't want that. So in the next video, watch that and learn how to require your Face ID to just open the Settings app, and we're going to go through a whole bunch of other settings that's really going to secure your phone. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video. It really helps us out, and subscribe to our channel. And if you really think this benefited you, please share it with your friends on your social media. Click here on the link provided for the next part.